right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to remind everyone to please make sure that all cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position. Also, please be advised our city council meetings are broadcast on television on Comcast channel 99 and rebroadcast on WMGJ radio. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Iva Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Toles. Here. Councilman Williams.
Here.
Worthy.
Here.
Eccles.
Here.
Billingsley.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
And Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Brian Harbison to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Almighty God, we thank you for the blessings of life. We thank you for the opportunity to be here today, for the freedom to meet. And God, we just thank you for your blessings on this great city. We pray that you'll be with the council representatives today, that you'll give them the wisdom they need. Thank you for the mayor and his administration. Just pray that you'll continue to bless him with the wisdom and knowledge he needs throughout each day. God, I just pray your blessings on this meeting, and we'll give you the praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the 2 work sessions and city council meeting held on April 5th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of accounts for the week of April 1st through the 7th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations, Mayor.
Craig Scott. Craig, would you come up? Is Amanda here?
She's not.
Okay. She's downtown with that pub crawl, isn't she?
She's at our party.
Hello, thank you very much.
Whereas there are hundreds of public, academic, school, governmental, and specialized libraries in the state of Alabama, and all of them provide excellent and invaluable service to library users regardless of their age, ethnicity, socioeconomic background. Libraries provide thousands of people in Alabama with the knowledge and information they need to live, learn, and work in the 21st century. Librarians and library support staff bring Alabama and the nation a world of knowledge in person, online, as well as personal service and expert assistance in finding what is needed when it is needed. It is important to recognize the unique contributions of all library workers in Alabama and the value of our citizens and the society of those contributions. The Alabama Library Association, known as ALLA, is a nonprofit corporation formed to encourage and promote the welfare of libraries and professional interests of librarians in the state of Alabama. The mission of the Alabama Library Association is to provide leadership for the development, advocacy, and improvement of library and information services and to promote the profession of librarianship in order to enhance learning and ensure access to information for all. The Alabama Library Association has chosen the city of Gadsden as the site for its 2016 Library Convention from Tuesday, April 12, 2016 through Friday, April 15, 2016. As the Gadsden Public Library and the City of Gadsden appreciates the confidence of the Alabama Library Association and is very proud to have been selected and awarded by them to host the ALLA 2016 convention. Therefore, I, Sherman Guyton, Mayor of the City of Gadsden, Alabama, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, April 13, 2016 is Alabama Library Association Day in the City of Gadsden and encourage all of our citizens and students to take advantage of the variety of library resources available and to thank library workers who are visiting Gadsden this week and their exceptional contributions to American life.
Oh, excellent.
It's the state of Alabama where we are.
Very good.
You like to see it?
I'll just say a couple of words. I would really like to thank the city of Gadsden for making the Alabama Library Association welcome and for opening not only your city, but your hearts and the wonderful library staff that you have here to us to make this convention possible. Again, our heartfelt appreciation.
I just want to say we're really proud of our library. That's one of the busiest places in town, except maybe for court. That's a joke. But anyway, they do a great job, and we're proud to have the association here. Probably, 300 or better, 400 people maybe?
400 people.
Yeah, be here for 3 days. And you know what they say about librarians, they're really quiet in the library, but they're pretty wild when they get out of town. Thank you.
That's right.
That ought to make me feel better, good. I married one.
You care to comment on that wild comment?
I'll delay that until my speaking time.
All right. Unfinished business. Item number 8A is an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance, and this ordinance was presented last week for first reading in an effort to protect the character of existing residential subdivisions. This would require the floor area of a one-family dwelling to be a minimum of 900 square feet. What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? And I think it was, what was noted upstairs is important because this allows a similar path for variances and development activity to be followed that takes any developer through the Board of Adjustments. So this is it's actually not a new process. It's just capturing a category of dwelling that hadn't been captured in the past.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Previously, for a long time, the city of Gadsden didn't allow variances, because I used to try to get some in my former business, and they act like it was a big deal, but when the people move out or whatever happens, the property goes back to its original zoning. It's not, it's not that big a change to get a variance sometimes, so anyway.
That's a good point. I don't think many people know that. Okay. All right, any additional discussion? All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed?
Oppose.
We have one no.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt.
Okay, item number 8B is an ordinance amending fiscal year 2016 general fund budget. This ordinance was introduced last week and received a first reading. It transfers $12,000 from unassigned funds for the Etowah County Community Service Agency to be used for operating expenses. What is the pleasure of the council?
Can we have a roll call vote on this, please, after you do that?
We sure can. What is the pleasure of the council?
So moved. Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, clerk, we've had a roll call vote requested.
All
Would you
right.
take the vote?
Councilman Reed?
No.
Cannon?
No.
Billingsley?
Yes.
Eccles?
No.
Worthy?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Tolles?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-3 vote to adopt.
Okay, our next resolution is authorizing agreement with Etowah County Community Agency. This resolution was introduced last week. It is for operating expenses for Etowah County Community Service Agency to be used for Gadsden residents only, and the amount is $12,000. What is the pleasure of the council?
So moved. Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Yes, they will get $2,000 a month for 6 months. They won't get it all up front.
Okay.
I think this is pending the contract that's going to be drawn up by the legal
Yes,
department.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, and we're likewise, to keep this consistent with other emergency agreements, for outside agencies. We're utilizing the meeting minutes from the date that I cannot recall, but we're utilizing those meeting minutes as evidence of the emergency nature of the request. So the intent is not to set any new precedents with this request. Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
We have 3 noes, is that correct? Okay. Motion carries to adopt.
Item number 8D is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement liens on property located at 119 Park Street in District 1. Vicky DeRisa Tuck, care of Lorenza Thomas, being the last known owner. This resolution was tabled for 14 days on March 29th. What is the pleasure of the council?
I move that it be tabled for 7 more days.
Second.
Okay, is there any additional discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 7 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries to table for 7 additional days.
Item number 8E is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement lien on property located at 712 Knuckle Street in District 2. Christy Butler Reed and Alabama Housing Finance Authority being the last known owners. This resolution was tabled for 14 days on March 29th. What is the pleasure of the council?
I move that it be tabled for 7 more days.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 7 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries to table for 7 additional days.
This is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing, allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution ordering abatement of nuisances on property located at 1411 Kentucky Avenue in District 1. The state of Alabama, the state of Jabari Player, care of George Day, the state of Jabari Player, care of Sam Bone, and Jabari LaJ Calloway, daughter and heir of Jabari Player, being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. We started this case in June of 2013. There have been no improvements. There was a building permit taken out in September of 2013. We're asking for a resolution today to abate the nuisance.
Just put it up there, the TV can see it.
What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to abate.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 711 Blythe Street in District 2, Vernon Gibson being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Sir, if you would, step to the podium, give us your name and address, and please refrain from referring to anyone by their name during your comments.
My name's Vernon Scott Gibson. My Betty's the one that's on the paper here. And what you need, my address?
Yes.
2314 Gadsden, Alabama. 2314 Lookout Street, Gadsden, Alabama.
Okay.
I just, this need a little time, I'll get it fixed up. I started working on it. I had somebody renting it years and years back, and they did some stuff to it that tore it all to pieces, and I've been working on it little by little, but I know I need to get over there and get it cleaned up. And get it rented out or sold or something. I just need about 30 days to get permits and get the man over there and get it done.
All right, have you had any, before today, have you had any conversations with the building department about what needs to be done to bring it up to code?
Well, I know what needs to be done. I haven't asked them what needs to be done, but I've been doing the stuff for years, and I know about what I'll get an electrician out there and get it all rewired, and I'm a plumber. And just needs to be clean, put some siding on it, on part of an addition somebody started years back, probably about 10 or 15 years ago.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Thank you, sir. Does anyone else wish to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I did have a conversation with Mr. Gibson a couple of days ago. We're certainly not opposed to the improvements that need to be done. This case started in March of 2014. There was a fairly good-sized room addition put on the back of the house, has not been completed. The concern from the neighborhood is the house is unsecure. Some of the pictures you're looking at were taken from the inside of the house. So I would leave that up to the council. Like I said, we're not opposed. I would ask that it not be tabled for more than 30 days, and that during that time, the outside, as I discussed with Mr. Gibson, the outside be completed and the property secured. Thank you.
More than 30 days.
Mr. Gibson, you still got your construction business, don't you? Your people working with you still?
Sir?
You still got your construction business, people that works with you?
Yes.
Mr. President, this is not in my district, but I will say that if Mr. Vernon Gibson, his dad, says it'll be moved on in 30 days, I can believe it.
Well, as I've done in the past with any extension I've granted, if, you know, the only stipulation that I have is that you stay in constant communication with the building department, and that when they give us an update, that they can speak very clearly to us that that progress is being made. So if you can give us that level of commitment, you know, that we won't be thinking of, we won't have to have this discussion again in 30 days. I think 30 days would be ample time for us to see the progress.
I was ready to buy a permit the other day, and I'll get it going.
Okay, all right, we can do that.
I move for a 30-day extension.
Second.
Okay, is there any additional discussion? Okay, we have a motion
I
and a
know his
second.
dad, and he's a good man.
Yeah. He says he'll do it, he'll do it.
I think he'll do it.
All right, time will tell. Clerk, will you take a vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 711 Blythe Street in District 2. Vernon Gibson being the last. I'm sorry. Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1215 Stillman Avenue in District 2. The state of Alabama, Edith W. Hardy and Randy L. Shaw being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Sir, if you would, give us your name, step to the podium, give us your name and address, and again, please refrain from referring to anyone by their name during your comments.
I'm Randy Shaw, and I live at 7612 Leith Gap Road in Boaz. Sorry. And my house is too far gone to try to do anything with it. People has come through and ransacked it and just destroyed it. And it breaks my heart every time I go over there, and they've made a mess over there. People use my backyard for a dump over there, so the only thing I do is give it to the city of Gadsden and let them do what they want to with it.
Okay.
It's the only thing I can do. I draw Social Security disability, I can never save up enough money to do anything. It was in good shape, but I come back a month later, and they have just ransacked it, gutted it. It's bad. This is falling apart, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak in opposition? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started our case in July of last year. There've been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, I move to abate the nuisance.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Question. Did he say that he would convey the property to the city?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so, I guess before I know we got this on the floor to vote, but if we move on this, would this kick in the demolition, as far as destroying it and then having to come back with us, get the property conveyed to us?
Dr. Toles, even if he conveys the property to the city, the condition of the property, as he spoke of, we're going to have to demolish the house anyway. We could accept the property at a later date and just dissolve.
I was thinking about the lien, the money amount of lien.
Right.
That's what I was.
We could dissolve the demolition costs at a later date, yes.
Okay, I
In case it
understand.
fall through, in case something fall
Okay,
through.
I understand.
Okay. Is there any additional discussion? All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 705 Harvey Street in District 3, the state of Alabama, and David E. Thompson being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started this case in July of last year. There've been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate the nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate the nuisance.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 109 South 7th Street in District 4, the state of Alabama, and heirs of Harold S. Robertson Sr. and wife Grace Robertson being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started this case in September of last year. There've been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Could we rehab that one? Is it too far gone?
We'll look at it. If the numbers are right, we'll plug it in our rehab program. But normally, we have to have a resolution from the council to get inside and do that assessment, so.
Yes, sir.
Is there any more discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 317 Harrelson Avenue in District 5, Myron Harvey being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started this case in June of last year. There've been no improvements to the property. There are no permits to improve. We're asking for a resolution to abate this nuisance. Thank you.
What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to abate the nuisance.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
We have to, the association over there is in the process of making sure that it's okay to do that because the house has been gone and abandoned for so long that it's just too not cost conscious to do that. So the people in the neighborhood want it gone and the association wants it gone, so.
Okay. Any more discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our final public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1501 Roosevelt Avenue in District 5. Henry J. Fletcher and wife Lily Mae Fletcher, care of Henry Fletcher Jr. being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, this case involves an abandoned mobile home. We started our process in April of last year. There've been no improvements, there are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to abate the nuisance.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 16 is a resolution awarding bid number 3308 to Alabama Roofing and Sheet Metal Company. This is for the Recycling Center Roofing Project, and the amount is $68,845. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 17 is a resolution rescinding resolutions regarding community development programs. This rescinds resolutions R-247-03, R-369-05, R-78-06, R-118-07, and R-206-11 regarding prior programs to allow for adoption of new programs. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
I move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? As I stated, this is, again, designed to rescind where have been deemed to be not necessarily obsolete, but not appropriately targeted programs, if I'm saying that right. But the purpose is to replace these with better and more suitable programs. Okay? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 18 is a resolution authorizing community development, housing rehabilitation, and repair programs. This is a loan program to provide up to $5,000 of emergency repairs to qualified homeowners. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? And as I mentioned before, these are the replacement programs.
And can I say something? One of the reasons why we have to change it is because of the grant money that we get. We can only spend $5,000 on the house instead of like what we used to spend. We could go up to $7,500 for the elderly, but then we have to take into account of the paint, the lead paint, so we cannot go over that amount. So that's why we have to change the program.
Okay. Is there any additional comments? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 19 is a resolution authorizing community development paint program. This provides up to $1,000 for paint and supplies for volunteer crews to paint the exterior of qualified owner-occupied structures. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 20 is a resolution authorizing agreement with Jack R. Morgan Engineering. This is for electrical upgrades within Nakalula Falls Park, and the amount is $9,400. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Okay, is there any discussion?
All the park keeps growing and growing, and we keep adding on, and we're having to upgrade a lot of the electrical service, which is a good thing, because we have more and more things going on up there. So it's a good thing.
All right, is there any more discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 21 is a resolution authorizing amendment to the communication system agreement with Motorola Inc. This amends the schedule of payments to allow for the service to be billed separately from the equipment and installation. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 22 is a resolution granting right-of-way easement to Alabama Power Company. This is to allow installation of an underground utility service at 503 Black Creek Road. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 23 is a resolution granting easement of right-of-way to Gadsden Motor Inn, Inc. This is to allow the business to construct a sidewalk and steps from its building along 2nd Street. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 24 is a resolution authorizing acceptance of grant from Etowah County Community Development Committee. This is for improvements to fields, fences, and restrooms at the boys' baseball and girls' softball fields located at 503 Black Creek Road and 1420 West Meakin Boulevard, and the amount is $5,000. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 25 is an item presented for first reading. It's an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2016 general fund budget. This is to reflect receipt and appropriation of the $5,000 grant from the Etowah County Community Development Committee for ball field improvements. This ordinance has been presented today for first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. New business, is there any new business? It's the first in a long time. All right, department reports, committees, boards. Remarks by the mayor and council. Mayor?
Yeah, I'm going to repeat the schedule. We have the State Library Convention here in the city from now through, I think, Thursday. And this is sort of a schedule of events. Starting today from 5 to 7, there's a welcome block party in the 500 block of Broad Street. Wednesday from 9:30 to 10:30, the opening session with a New York Times best-selling author, Jocelyn Jackson, and that's at 210 at the Tracks, which used to be the church there on the corner. I can't think of the name of it.
Open Arms.
Open Arms, yes. From 12 to 2, the President's Program with New York Times best-selling author Tom Franklin. That'll be at the Pittman Theater. From 5 until 8, the Author Expo, 210 at the Tracks. There'll be several authors there, I think. And Thursday from 12 to 2, the Author Awards Luncheon at the Pittman Theater. And from 6 to 9, the President's Reception at the Gadsden Museum of Art. So we have a lot of people here this week, probably somewhere around 400 visitors to our city, and we're proud to get them here.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilwoman Toles?
Yes, I have. First, I'd like to say I'll repeat it again. My district meeting will be April the 25th at 6 p.m. at the Antioch Family Life Center. Also, I'd like to commend the Parks and Recreation Department, Courtney. They do a good job for the city. They're always bringing different things in to boost the city and having a good time, and also economically. So I just like to encourage people that those that are still saying that it's not anything to do, read the paper, look on the TV and listen, but there's a lot of things going on here. And also, the Gadsden City High School has been in operation for 10 years, and so they're going to do a 10-year celebration beginning May the 4th. So we'd like for the community and the city to get involved in the 10-year celebration of the Gadsden City High School.
Thank you, Councilwoman Toles. All right, Councilman Worthy?
Yes. My community meeting will be at Thompson Community Center Thursday, the 14th, in a couple of days from 5:30 to 6:30. So please come out and share your concerns with us. And also, I would like to commend Parks and Rec for Smoke on the Falls. I happen to be one of the judges over the weekend for the backyard barbecue, and it was good. Some of the food was good, some of it wasn't so good, but it was good. So we had a lot of people up there. And also, this happened about 3 weeks ago, and I meant to mention it, but I received a letter commending Courtney for the basketball Parks and Rec state tournament. We had 139 teams here, and they love coming to Gadsden, because I remember when my boys was little, we would travel for the same tournament, and we really didn't like going to these different cities because the gyms were spaced out so far. You would have to, when we go to Madison County, you got to drive 30 minutes to the next gym. But all the gyms are consolidated here, 5 minutes away. So that's why they like coming to Gadsden. So I want to commend them on a job well done, and the letter really commended them and talked about it. I think you got the letter because it was emailed to me. So just want to tell them to keep doing a good job, and thanks for supporting the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Worthy. Councilman Billingsley?
Yes, I had a community meeting last night, and one of the chief items was vicious dogs. And then we had an officer there to explain to people that if you have a vicious dog, you have to have insurance on that dog. I mean, it's a city requirement. And people that don't know about that, you know, you get these vicious dogs that can get out, and they do get out sometimes. So our animal control is working on that, and dogs that bark at nighttime. You know, there are things that you can get to fix your dog that he won't bark at nighttime, because people need to sleep. But you know, when you're talking about a dog, you have to do things to make the dog do what it's supposed to do. And also, this weekend, we got Old School coming up. People all over this country come to this town to have a good time and reminisce with old classmates and things. And I don't know how many years we've been doing it, but it's been quite a few years. And it's a big boost to this city because the rooms are full also. So we want to hope that they're successful this weekend. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Billingsley. Councilman
I don't
Cannon?
have anything.
Okay, Councilman Reed?
I'll just comment on smoking on the falls this time. You know, we all, Councilman Worthy and that all of us, you know, judged. And I heard a comment by Brother Worthy there said some of that barbecue was good. I sat right next to him. You'd have never known any of it was bad. That boy can put away barbecue, let me tell you. But anyway, bless his heart, you know. Whatever. Yeah, I heard you. Welcome to 400 librarians to the city of Gadsden. I'm gonna tell you something. They're bringing a lot to this city, lots of smarts. It's gonna add a whole lot. I know, because I married one. So I do welcome them and welcome them back anytime. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Reed. Do want to reiterate the mayor's point about those events, and Councilman Reed's as well, about the librarians conference. We're excited about having them here, and you know, we think that the city of Gadsden has a lot to offer, and this is one of the ways that we get to highlight that. Do want to highlight something as well. We had a meeting prior to our pre-council meeting, or actually prior to one of our report outs this morning, and we tried something a little different. We actually took a look at a 12-minute TED Talk, and the TED Talk was conducted by Jennifer Palka, and it was roughly about Code for America, which is an organization that allows IT professionals to take time off of work, about a year off of work, to come in and help cities build solutions to some of their problems. And so it was an interesting interesting speech and an interesting discussion. But again, the key theme in all of that was that there are a number, in this day and age where technology is so prominent in our society, there are a number of ways that we can use technology to help solve some of our problems. Now, we hadn't figured them all out yet, but it's definitely something that we'll be having some discussions with the mayor's office to see if it's something that would fit for us. Now, you have to be accepted, so we don't know if you know, we even meet the criteria at this point. But it definitely requires an executive signature, and it's something that we want to explore at the very least. But it brought about some good discussion, and one of the big things that I want to highlight that came out of that is, you know, I can remember I often tell people when I'm talking through the resolution of problems, you know, people often ask me, well, you know, did you have to contact your councilman before you became an elected official? And the funny thing about that is I never did. You know, I lived through Doug Weems and J.R. Countryman, and I had houses torn down in my district not far from my first residence. I had streets paved. You know, when we moved to my current address, the street had only been paved with chert at the time. And so we ultimately got our street paved. It took about 20 years, but we got it paved. we got it paved eventually. And there were a number of things. We got a number of nuisance situations abated. But what was interesting is that when I tell people this story, you know, they say, well, you must have kept your councilman busy. And I tell them, well, I never called him. It's because I mean, I knew who made the decisions and who could direct city personnel. So that guy sitting at the end of this dais, you know, I called the mayor's office back then, or I would call the department. And of course, it's not fair to make it appear that I knew everything. I had worked at City Hall before, so I knew Brian Harbison and some of the other folks that I needed to call. But the point in all of that, and one of the points that was made in this TED Talk, was that, you know, we have to be not only a city of voices, but we have to be a city of hands as well. And I thought that was a very, you know, profound statement made by that speaker. You know, a lot of people have this idea that politics is all about just complaining and raising concerns and saying what the issue is. But that's only part of it. You know, there's another part that speaks to everybody. This is everybody's city. So there's a part that speaks to, you know, stepping up and putting your hands to it. So again, I just thought, and it brought about some good discussion amongst this group, and we may be doing that again if we can find something that's meaningful for us to take a look at. So, is there anything else? All right, I entertain a motion that we adjourn.
So move.